Hello, this is Geoff Wildman of redsky.uk.net. In this very short talk, I'd like us to think about the subject of God's love. Andrew Innes, my co-worker at redsky.uk.net, has recently drawn my attention to a video on YouTube. In that video, the person speaking not only wears a mask, but also disguises their voice. The person speaking claims to be a Christian, but one must ask oneself what sort of Christian needs to wear a mask and indeed disguise their voice. Are they afraid they'd be instantly recognised as an atheist imposter, perhaps? Are they subconsciously afraid of the God they are misrepresenting? If they are a Christian, they should certainly be ashamed of the message they're proclaiming. It's a message of hate. Like a masked terrorist making a terrorist video, this person proclaims that God hates sinners. Well, if that's the case, God must hate us all, because as the Apostle Paul wrote, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. If God hates sinners, then there isn't a snowball in hell's chance for any of us. God hates sin, not the sinner. That is a fact. But if we love sin more than we love God, then we are in trouble, because God does hate sin. If we love sin, take delight in sin, refuse to confess our sin, refuse to turn from our sin, refuse to accept Christ, God's sacrifice for our sin, then we are bound for that place Christ described as a place of outer darkness, where there will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. And that's because God hates sin. And that is a fact. So, I am no universalist, and neither is Andrew Innes, my co-worker at redsky.uk.net. Not everyone is going to heaven. But just as there is rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents, as Christ said, there has to be sadness in heaven over every sinner who refuses to repent, but rather chooses the outer darkness. And that is the case because God does love the sinner whilst hating the sin. And here is the definitive proof of that fact before I finish. The Apostle Paul, again, writing to the believers in Rome, again says, "Very rarely would anyone die for a righteous man, though for a good man someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." Romans chapter 8, verses 7 to 8. I hope you found that interesting, and thanks for listening.